Hey guys, bienvenidos otra vez a la sección de mi blog para aprender el idioma español. This is Brendan. In this section, I'm going to show you guys three different examples of bilingual readers for kids that I've been studying over the past month. This first one is Fábulas bilingües, and this is La lechera y su cubeta, the milkmaid and her pail. It's very cute. It's very simple Spanish. In this case, sometimes the bilingual, the top half of the page is in Spanish, the bottom half is in English, whatever. In this book, actually the first half of the book is in Spanish, so if it will stop flipping, you'll see here this part of the book with lovely illustrations for kids is in Spanish, and then in the there's a divider, and then the second half of the book is the same exact story again in English. And this is put out by the Bilingual Series of NTC, National Textbook Company Publishing. There you go. I'm looking at the wrong book while I'm showing you this. And anyway, that was a good example. That one was fun. Very sort of infantile, very basic Spanish. This is one of my perennial favorites. This is actually really fun. This is The Cat in the Hat in English and Spanish, bilingual. El gato ensombrerado. And this is on each page there's actually Spanish and then the English, the original English written by Dr. Seuss and a Spanish translation above it. So for example, this one we see El sol no brillaba. Estaba demasiado mojado para jugar. Así es que nos sentamos adentro de la casa. Todo aquel frío día mojado. And you can see the sun did not shine, blah, blah, blah. It's the first page of The Cat in the Hat. This is a really fun one. This is actually one of my favorites, and some of the Spanish in this is a bit more sophisticated because Dr. Seuss, even though for kids, as we all know in English, is, while on the one hand uses very simple language, on the other hand the concepts, are maybe a little bit more advanced, which is one of the wonderful things that people love about Dr. Seuss. So this one has actually been just a wonderful book to study from. I'm really looking forward to going back to this one. And last but not least, one of my favorite stories from when I was a kid, I think, and also just in general. This one you can see from the price guide. I picked this up at the Strand. Actually, it was super cheap. I got it for $3.95. It's a bilingual English and Spanish reader for Curious George, the very first Curious George book, which came out in 1941. And this is the original book that started the series, and basically for each page you get the original English above and then you get Spanish below. So for this one, for example, the first page of Curious George, Este es Jorge. Jorge vivía en África. Era un monito bueno y muy curioso. And then, it sort of goes on from there, and you can see on some pages there's more writing than others. The wonderful original illustrations, each page with the text having a double text, English and Spanish. This is definitely one of my favorites. Most of the words were very easy for me to understand right away. Some of the words were a little more difficult, but because of the bilingual nature of these three bilingual readers, you never have to use a dictionary. That's the wonderful thing about these books for beginning language learners. We've seen some other ones by different publishers that have, sort of English on one side, Spanish on the other, or vice versa, Spanish on the first side, English on the odd number page. However it's written, those are wonderful resources to learn Spanish or French or really anything that shares a similar alphabet to English, Latin type alphabet, where you can just very quickly with your eyes just glance back and forth from page to page, finding words that you don't know within the body of the text in the English section if you're reading the Spanish side and there's words you don't know, etc. So anyway, thanks for watching. These are just some examples of bilingual readers that I've studied over the past month and a half preparing for my trip to Mexico. I actually have quite a few more that I'll be getting to and may include in some future follow-up videos. Have a wonderful day.